Live from behind enemy lines in Washington, D.C., it's game day with the Dallas Cowboys. We've got the latest news, rumors, and opinions, all wrapped up with our own brand of biased, brainless, blithering, sure to drop your sports IQ by at least 20 points. Game Day is on the air.
Welcome, everyone, to Game Day with the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to talk about, to the chagrin of my co-hosts who think I am completely nuts, we're going to talk about how the Cowboys can actually get to the Super Bowl, but we're not going to quite do that yet. We're going to talk about some other things before we start doing that. Anyway, guys, how you guys doing?
I haven't recovered from the topic yet.
Yeah, well,
I'm doing well.
We're not going to talk about that quite yet, but we are going to get into that discussion, okay? Because there are some ways that the Dallas Cowboys could get to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it could be a lot of massive airplane crashes and teams died all over the place, and we're the only team left.
And it would take
that could happen.
31
We're still lose.
No.
Well, we're not gonna do it.
It could be just 30 crashes.
Yes.
Because as long as one of the team that survives is AFC.
Yes.
Good
or
grief,
we could
that's
play the
sad.
Jets.
That's sad. Very sad. Yeah, we could lose to the Jets.
Yep.
Okay.
Play the Jets every week.
So we defeated handily. Not at first, but we did kick the rear ends in the end. We defeated the Chicago Bears. But there is a cloud, a storm cloud for that game. And do you guys know what that was?
But they couldn't stop the run?
Hey, there you go. There you go. They couldn't stop the run. Do we have any kind of a... There you go. You guys got it. Couldn't stop the run. We did stop the pass. We held him in check everywhere else. But the thing of it is he's not that great of a passer. He's a heck of a runner, and we couldn't stop him. So tell us why we couldn't stop him. I don't care who starts.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I mean, a lot of it, quite frankly, it is hard to prepare for that. But if you are, it's particularly Lawrence. I was very surprised at how he fell for that. I mean, obviously, if he's playing defensive end, he cannot go bite on the dive play.
No.
And he does like to run that play down from behind. Normally, he does that a lot. But with Fields in the game, and he's got to stay home. He didn't stay home, and he got outside. If he gets outside, the guy's a fantastic athlete, and they really took advantage of his
aggressiveness.
On key plays in the game. And it's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Well, we'd also been having problems with stopping the run before this. It was just most teams don't seriously just run the ball like the Bears do. I mean, the Bears don't have any offensive passing. I mean, they do. Don't get me wrong. Every team does. It is the NFL. But, Mooney was their best wide receiver until trade deadline where they got Claypool. Right. But, they didn't really have too many. If they played the game straight up, we dominate the thing. This is, it was weird to see, but definitely an issue.
Yeah. Well, we got a little help. The Giants lost this week, so we're kind of tied with them right now. They've lost.
Well, we beat them head on.
We beat them head on. That's right.
But yeah. Well, I think people have to also understand that in today's NFL, you do need to stop the run. Don't get me wrong, but if you can't stop the pass, you're not going to any Super Bowls. All right. And what Dallas basically does, if you watch them, sooner or later they're going to get you into a third and long.
Right.
Okay? And then they just finish you.
Yes.
Right.
So even when you're running the ball, you're going to, but we all know this, right? Sooner or later, there's a holding penalty. There's you're going to get something goes wrong. There's a false start. We get them in a negative, behind the chains. And then we usually finish teams off. So even though the Bears ran for over 200 yards, really wasn't a very close game.
They ran for a lot more than 200 yards. They ran for
but they passed for like 100. They passed for like 100. They got blown out, and they got blown off the field. They got blown out.
Right.
They got blown out. So run for your 200 yards.
Super Bowl. Super Bowl. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Are you laughing at me?
An awful lot.
Do you find me funny?
Funny looking.
Am I a clown? What was that?
Holy
Good guys? Good fellas.
Good fellas.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they spread it out. They didn't, not a single player had Herbert had a great game. Whatever the new running back. Montgomery was actually held in check at 3.5. So
Right.
You know, it wasn't that bad. It's just they just ran 43 times in a game, which you don't see that often anymore in today's NFL. So I guess that's really where it was. And like Jeff said, the game was. It had moments where it was close, where they scored the 17 points unanswered or 16 points, whatever it was, and they tightened the game up.
Yeah, but that was our own fault. That was our own fault. You know, we did
Dak
that
went for it late in the game for no reason, late in the half for no real reason, and he got picked.
What did you guys think of Tony Pollard?
I thought he was, what I thought he would do. He's a good outside back. He's not going to go between the tackles too often. With any authority too long, and that's why Zeke has a job. Malik Davis had to do it this time, and not that well, but
I thought he played pretty well.
Zeke had something to say to him as he came back to the sidelines after that 50-some yard run. Hold on here. I've got a little soundbite of it. Here it is, right here.
You ain't nothing.
That's what he screamed at Tony Pollard as he came back after that 50-yard jaunt.
Well, there's no doubt that Pollard is the more explosive player of the two. But it seemed to me that the offense, was Dak was pretty sharp except for the one pass play, where I think that again, what bothered me about this is what bothers me more, and I talk to Mike about this all the time, is how we get out of things from time to time when we don't need to. I mean, we're in control of this football game. They just scored because we kind of messed up, if you remember. And then we come out and we try to drop something deep. I don't know if you remember the interception where Dak threw the ball deep over the middle and the safety picked it off.
Yeah.
We hadn't made a play like that all game long. And it gets picked off, and now they're back in the game.
I wonder how many people were screaming for Cooper Rush when he did that.
No,
I don't know, but it's just we get out, we and this has been going on for a number of years. We get out off the script, inexplicably. Like what was that all about? It just made no sense to me. And it let the Bears get back in the game. And I think eventually, right, those types of things, maybe not in this game, but if we're talking about the playoffs or anything like that,
49ers last year in the playoffs.
Exactly, you can't do it. You're gonna lose.
Yep. So. I mean, I thought this was actually probably the first game this year that the offense bailed out the defense. Not that the defense was horrible, but if the offense hadn't come to play the way they did, this game it might have been a lot tighter than it needed to be. And so maybe Cooper Rush doesn't win this game.
No,
you never know.
I don't think he does.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they could score enough.
Dak was pretty sharp. Let's be honest. The offense was pretty crisp. The running game was really good. That makes it easy. That makes it real easy for Dak. But we also have, quite a few players on the defense are dinged up right now. So this bye really came right at the right time. I mean, these guys are hard hitters. We've had a lot of guys. We brought in some new guys as well. The trade deadline was looming, and I'm sure some guys are looking.
We didn't do anything. Are you guys surprised that we didn't pick up anybody?
No, I knew they weren't going to do anything. They never do anything.
They never do it.
They never do anything.
Never do anything. Not when they should. No.
What are we paying them for?
I don't know. I mean, when it got down to, because again, Mike and I were talking a little bit. When it got down to Brandon Cooks, I was like, please don't bring him in here.
Right.
He's $18 million, Nick. That would be a disaster.
I feel like I'm paying them to cut my grass, and then I go around back of the house, and it hasn't.
Yeah, and you got weeds.
Weeds back there.
Yeah. I mean, what they need, as we've talked about, is they need the word isn't right, but a better, faster middle linebacker. Not that Vander Esch is completely horrible. It's just for the way we're playing, he doesn't fit as well because he's too hesitant. He's not fast enough, and he knows he's not, so he plays to it. Right. But
he'd have been a better 43 linebacker.
Yeah, exactly. So the way he's needed to what he's supposed to do in this, and I don't know what it is. We've talked about it. It's like he sits there and goes 1, 2, 3, then reacts, and it's it's just by the time he reacts, they're 4 or 5 yards up the field already.
You remember we had him on film, right, where he literally was the only guy of 22 players on the field. Even the officials were moving.
Right.
He literally was not moving at all.
Well, I think looking at him, and you're right, but I think what they have him do is read and react.
Yes,
that's a type of defense.
Part of it is the scheme, because basically they're playing a 4-2, 5-2, and sometimes he's really he is our middle linebacker.
Yes,
and so but what I'm seeing is, though, he's trying to cover sideline to sideline, and when they start running these edge plays or start running the ball wide on us, he has to make a very quick decision, either to try to fly up behind it and cut the hole off there, or go to the outside and try to cut off before the guy gets to the edge on us. And sometimes you just kind of see him floating along.
Yeah, to me, though, it's like, how many times can you be wrong? Like, by sheer dumb luck, you got to be right, and he's always wrong.
Right? You got to make plays. Right.
And he always chooses wrong. I mean, it's...
And I'll tell you what, it's not that he does, but he doesn't. What it is he's not as fast as we thought he was going to be.
Yes.
No,
So
he's a little older now.
He takes the outside. He's afraid that they're going to cut back in on him. He cannot react quickly.
Right.
So he takes what appears to be poor angles always.
Yes.
So, it's just that he doesn't have the reaction quickness that we need at middle linebacker.
Well, that's what Mike was saying. And, there were some players here that, there are players that we could have gone out and, that could maybe solve that problem for us. But we didn't look there.
Barr got injured, Barr's hurt.
Yeah, I think we can handle that right now, because the guy that just came back, I'm telling you, this other guy, I can't believe he's back already, though, is this Damone Clark guy.
Oh, okay.
Number 33. He played a little bit last Sunday. Number 33 is his number, which is an odd number.
Yeah,
he was a fantastic college player. So if he came out hurt, so he dropped in the draft. But if he had not been injured, he probably would have been a top 10, top 15 pick in the draft. So he's got a lot of skill.
Yeah.
See what he does.
Well, we could have gotten Raekwon Smith, but we could have gotten guys like this. I mean, for what what the Ravens gave up to get him, I don't know why we didn't go get him. The Ravens traded, we
weren't looking there, right? We weren't.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We were the word was, and all the heat was trying to get a wide receiver.
Yeah,
and so I don't think the Cowboys are looking. I think how they are. I think the Cowboys are going, we got this great defense. We just don't mess with the defense.
Right.
Now, Zeke's going to be back we're obviously on bye this week, and then we come back, and we've got to play the Packers, who have always had our number. We have never beaten Rodgers. Never. We
are going to beat there. I'm going to tell you right now, we are going to destroy the Packers.
You think so?
Because
their backs are against the wall.
Their backs were against the wall last week, and they got smoked. Okay, they're not a good football team. The Packers, it's a nice name. They have Aaron Rodgers, but the reality of it is the Packers are not a good football team. They're not going to make the playoffs.
So Zeke Elliott's back. So what do you guys think is going to be the carries per running back there? Zeke versus Tony Pollard. And not only what do you think it's going to be,
12,
what
16,
do you
11.
think it's going to be, or what should it be?
Well, I think it's like 16 or so for Zeke and around 10 or so for Pollard, maybe.
Mike, you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess they go back to their old ways, give the ball to Zeke more, and let Pollard come in and do what he's got to do to Pollard.
Right.
And do the special plays. I don't know. I don't think Pollard could play every down for the whole rest of the season anyway. So
no, and as a matter of fact, the coaching staff has said he looks best when it's less than 20 carries.
Yeah. So, I look. I'm always nervous when we play Rodgers because Rodgers can, but they look really bad this year. I mean, it's hard to tell.
They do, but
they have no wide receivers. Devontae Adams leaving really. They blew that. They should have gave him whatever he wanted, or if he took less to go to the Raiders.
Here's my fear, and it always tends to be true for not just the Packers but other teams as well that are doing crappy. We tend to get them back on track.
Yeah, but I would normally, I would totally agree with you, Len, on that. But I don't know about. It just seems to me that this team, for whatever reason, is just a very cohesive, very hungry team. I haven't seen us play flat yet.
I'm happier with this team this year than I was last year. I don't have the fear factor that I had last year, and obviously it all came true, and it could again. But I'm seeing, where you thought they were all hyped up and ready to win and go all the way or close to it. I didn't see that last year. Right. I'm seeing less mistakes right now than I thought we were going to have.
The penalties are down.
I'm seeing better gameplay from each of the players. So I feel better about this year, even though we might not win as many games. I think it's a better team.
Well, football's, we talked about it. Football's a team game. Part of it's just staying healthy. Like the offensive line, except for that little kind of swinging door thing at left guard, right? So far, it's been pretty cohesive. Like it's been, basically the same 5 guys. That makes a difference. We haven't had a major injury to Ezekiel Elliott or Tony Pollard, though Zeke missed a game. Our wide receivers have been getting kind of healthier rather than, you know what I mean? We got help me out, a Gallup back.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't had any injuries to our tight ends. A little bit to Schultz, but the other 2 guys were good. So, offensively anyway, we've been very cohesive. Defensively, we haven't had any, dramatically bad injuries so far.
Yeah.
But normally with Dallas, we start getting these injuries, and it gets ugly real quick. So
real
But we're
quick,
getting Washington back soon, right? So
yeah, we are.
yeah,
We're supposed to
also.
anyway.
Yeah, we're getting you know what? I'm going to tell you what's happening. In fact, we're getting these guys are coming back,
right.
and it's actually amazingly Dallas doesn't know what to do, because as these guys come back, right, somebody's got to go.
Right.
And like I said, they let Tristan Hill go today. They waived him.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty bad. So
Well, he's played okay, but the truth is, there's just no room for him on the roster.
yeah.
So real quick,
So,
commercial here for PaydirtFootball.com. Visit PaydirtFootball.com for all your football needs for NFL action and news, scores, and you can also, if you're a football gamer, check out some of our leagues. We've got Madden 22, soon to be 23 leagues. We've got Action PC football leagues, which is less graphics, but I think a little more realistic with the outcomes. Anyway, visit the site and check out what we've got. Now, here, also for Pollard, just FYI, he was voted FedEx Ground Player of the Week. 131 yards. I think he had 14 carries?
Yep.
Not a
That's
lot.
pretty good.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome game.
Yep. Our boy Jake Ferguson got in the end zone.
Well, there's been a lot of guys, right? I mean, these rookies are coming in. You're exactly right, though. There's guys that are contributing. Not like they're superstars, but they're contributing in significant ways.
Yeah.
I mean, even like Sam Williams. Sam has come on in and he's made some plays for us, right?
Well, the one thing I liked really much, what I liked this week was Dak started running the ball. They actually called some plays for him too. He got 20. He got a long of 25. He got 34 yards for the game and a rushing touchdown. So, that's a sign that if he must be feeling okay and feeling back on himself. So that's a weapon that we haven't really had for 2 years. So a year and a half.
That touchdown play that they designed I have to give the genius some credit there, because that touchdown play when Dak made, that was one heck of a slick looking play.
Yeah. Then he goes and messes it up and puts CD Lamb in the backfield. So, but whatever.
So what do they do with the offensive line when Tyler Smith comes back? Or not Tyler
Okay.
Smith, but Tyron Smith.
Yeah, boy.
Where do we go?
To hell is what we got.
I mean, does he crack the lineup again, or
Of course he does. They've already said that.
where
It's
do they
ridiculous.
put him?
They can put him at left tackle.
I don't know. I don't think I would.
Well, well, we're not running that. I mean, it was in the news today. So, he's a Hall of Fame player. He's got to be one of the line was that he's got to be one of our best 5 offensive linemen. So,
Well, I think I'd just leave him there for a backup, maybe at right tackle. I don't know. But left tackle, I think Tyler Smith is doing just fine.
he's made some rookie mistakes, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Tyron
he clearly
Smith-
has. He's clearly
Tyron
a
Smith is
very
not-
good rookie left tackle.
Tyron Smith is not the player he used to be.
No.
Now, is he still good? Yeah, he's still above average.
I'm a big believer. You guys know this. I'm a believer in offensive line cohesion. And,
I am too.
This guy is going to come along, and I could just see it, having him come back for a week or two, and then he gets hurt again. And then we've done, either Smith hasn't been playing, or maybe we've moved him back to left guard, and we start getting into that musical chair thing right at the end of the season when it's kind of critical, and we can get all out of rhythm again. So I don't know. We'll see where that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
I think they put him in at right tackle and
over Steele.
Yeah.
Steele has played great.
I know. But they can't move the rookie.
They can't move.
right?
Steele has a great chance of making a Pro Bowl this year. I mean, he's having a great.
He does.
year
Yes,
right
I
now.
agree. I agree. He's having a really good year.
He really is.
Well, the way I take it is, what's the dumbest thing they could do, and that's usually what they do.
Well, you know how an offensive lineman is doing well?
When you don't hear about him.
Right. You don't hear about him.
Yep. He's played no, I mean, come on. I mean, Steele has been really, really good on the right side.
I think
really
our whole
good.
offensive line has done well.
Yeah, really good.
Even what's his name, the center?
Biotish.
Biotish has picked it up.
No, look, you know what? I'm glad you brought him up because we were really hammering on him, and rightfully so, because the guy, you remember all the bad snaps?
Right. Oh,
Right?
yeah, he fixed that. The high
yeah,
snaps.
the guy clearly worked his tail off, right? Yeah. And we don't have that problem this year. I like guys like that.
The only problem that I have with Biotish still, and he's not a bad center. He's a little bit above average right now, where last year he was average. He's still not the run blocker that we need. And I know that's not the main job of a center, but, you know, he still needs to open some space up there.
He's not a physical bulldog, no.
No.
I don't know if I'll ever get that out of him. But, he's adequate, and he does a good job, and he's steady. And I think that's a good thing. I think the guy's worked hard to make himself into a pretty good center. So,
yeah, I agree.
Just FYI, guys, when I see that 10-minute ticker come up, we're going to start talking about ways the Dallas Cowboys can make it to the Super Bowl.
Will it take that long?
I think it will. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll get bored with it after about 3 minutes. So
maybe not. We have a tendency to go down roads.
Have you guys seen the power rankings?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, we got to be like what, number five maybe?
We're in the top 5 of every single power ranking out there.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
NFL.com has Buffalo number 1, Philadelphia number 2, Kansas City number 3, Dallas is 4, and San Francisco is 5. ESPN has us at 4. Bleacher Report has us at 5. So, all the biggies out there have us in the top 5. I'm shocked. I am amazed. I'm flabbergasted at what I've seen this year.
I think a lot of us are. But the other thing is, there's a lot of teams that people had, at least so far, right, that they had penned into the Super Bowl of being Super Bowl contenders. That so far, anyway, have been major flops.
Yeah.
Right? The Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Rams. There's a lot of the Denver Broncos. There's teams out there that people thought were going to be really, really good. And they may still end up, the Chargers still might end up doing that. But, as of like today, those teams really haven't played very well.
Yeah, is that the
Denver Broncos?
Is that the
Denver
new
Broncos.
Is that the new computer setup that Bunny got you set up with that you're using now?
Yes.
It is.
I wasn't sure if you were talking to me or not, but Bunny and I are pretty tight.
Yeah, I know. What would you have to pay for that?
That's not who, it's how much. That's the kid.
Bunny's smiling up there in the control booth.
Yeah, I bet she is.
And wiping her mouth. I don't know what that means.
Oh man.
So
this is a Disney friendly show. I mean, come on.
Cheeseburgers in paradise.
Who the hell said that? I disagree wholeheartedly.
Oh,
it is, Jerry.
All right, so we're proud to be Dallas Cowboy fans for at least another week.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the bye week comes at a perfect time for us.
Yes, people will.
Because Mika is you could see Mika kind of falling off a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
Him lying on the sidelines, that view we got of him, like
I know, at the end of the game, yeah.
It wasn't
like
what
was that?
Not a good look.
Yeah, he looks like he just walked across the Sahara Desert or something over there.
Right, I was like,
laying
this
flat
dude's
out.
hanging on.
But, the guy's in. I mean, he's just one of those. Obviously, he has a lot of talent, but he's also one of these guys that it's like he just some of these players, they just step in it, right? Like He runs down the field and he gets that fumble, right?
Yeah.
And what are the odds that Fields is going to leap over him?
Right.
And then he's going to get up. He's going to run it's just, he could have been just about any other Cowboy, but it just happened to be him.
Right.
He's just a guy that, but a lot of it, I think, he's always hustling and he's always around the ball. So I guess the good things come to people like that. But I just was amazed by that whole thing by Fields. He just
jumped right over him. It was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
Well, it was the right thing by Fields to do. He should have just touched him on.
Yeah, he should have touched him. I mean, I saw it. I saw him jump over it, and then Michael Parsons got up, and I thought, did he touch him?
Right.
How stupid is he for not touching him?
Well, I agree with Mike.
Well, sorry, Mike. I like you too much to win this game.
He should have touched him or something, but he clearly thought he was down. So I mean, he didn't want to.
He was down, but he wasn't touched.
I know, but I think he assumed that, and obviously it was a big mistake on his part.
It was definitely
that buried the game.
Yes, it did.
That finished the game for sure.
It's so depressing when the defense gets touchdowns on you.
It
It hurts.
No, it really does.
And that's one of the reasons that, last year we won so much. This year we're winning because our defense is getting touchdowns. They're getting turnovers. They're scoring on these opponents, and it's deflating them.
Yes.
I mean,
think
go back and look at the games after our defense screws them over. It gets a touchdown or scores or gets the ball on it. It's just even turnovers. They seem to lose their ambition to win the game after that.
Yeah.
Well, this defense, hopefully it can stay this way. Right? We're just going off the 8 games, but kind of started last year. But this defense is very physical, first of all. And when you're the quarterback, it's just everything has to be done at a much faster pace than these teams are generally accustomed. Like I said, you can't simulate the speed that Dallas plays at. It's just not possible.
Losing Jordan Lewis was big time.
It was, but McQuam, we have some guys who can play, but if anybody else gets hurt back there, it could really hurt. But McQuam, I really like.
Yeah, Anthony Brown is not my favorite.
No, he's a good player. He just somebody's got to be sort of the weak link, I guess. But he is. They pick on it. Well, you got to try to find some area to attack.
Jordan Lewis may be a better pass cover guy than Diggs.
Right.
Jordan Lewis.
We won't know now.
I was watching him this year, man. He is
pretty good. But Diggs has played really well this year.
Diggs is too.
Yeah.
But I think Jordan Lewis was as good a cover guy. He's not the ball hawk, but I think he was every bit as good at covering.
Well, I like with Diggs' game this year is he's not getting beat as much. Whatever he adjusted, he's not getting as many turnovers, but he's also not getting beat as much. So they got to him and they coached him up a bit.
How many turnovers does he have so far?
He's got 2 or 3 picks, I think.
He's got more than that. He's got 3+.
Well, I got to tell you, if he's got 3+, that's pretty dang good at 8 games.
Sure.
I mean, he's you're asking for trouble if you pick on him too much.
Yeah.
But again, it works all together because that defensive front is putting so much pressure, and then the way they've been using Donovan, Wilson. Blitzing him.
And Diggs has three interceptions on the year.
That's not bad. I mean, he gets
12
6
pass defenses. So
all right,
playing very well.
We've only got a few minutes left, so what I want you to do is put all your prejudice, hate to bed for a little bit, and let's discuss how the Dallas Cowboys can get to the Super Bowl. I didn't say they'd win it. Let's figure out how they get to the Super Bowl and who is their biggest obstacle to get there.
Go ahead, Mike. Take that, baby. I'll back you up.
I'll give you a hint. Here's a hint: Philadelphia.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really. I'm not. You are right. This is a kind of wide open NFC this year.
Yes.
The major powerhouses of the historical aspect of the league are not really doing well. They're actually doing pretty bad. It doesn't mean they can't turn it around. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons are winning the NFC South right now with Mariota as a quarterback.
Oh, that division sucks.
Right, but does Brady put it together?
No.
I don't think so either. But the Saints aren't that good, but they have Alvin Kamara. So the Panthers got that selfish guy throwing his helmet down. Otherwise, they'd be in first place. So. I don't really think Seattle's that good.
They're not.
The 49ers, I do now with, Christian McCaffrey. I think they might be tops in the NFC West,
they are.
to start showing up. So I could see 49ers being a problem as they were last year, because they're a run heavy team and we have a problem stopping the run. So I think the Eagles caught us at the right moment, right time, and we made it a game. So as much as it didn't, the final score didn't show it, but we did make a game, and again another game where we couldn't stop the run. So it's kind of a continuing theme for the Cowboys. But yeah, I would say the Eagles or the 49ers would be our. I don't think the Vikings are very good, but I mean they're winning.
There's another one. Yeah, there's another team.
Yeah.
So,
but
Jeff,
that's my take.
Jeff, what's your take?
Well, okay. So this is what I think will happen. I do think San Francisco's pretty good, but I think the Eagles will probably I think the Eagles will get the number 1 seed in the NFC this year, so they get the bye, right?
Yes.
Now, Dallas, though, would then have to make it as a wild card, and I see them as probably being like, say, the number 5 seed. And that would mean we would probably play Atlanta, Tampa Bay.
We
have to play it on the road.
Yeah, we
We're
win.
going to win that game.
We win.
We're going to win that game.
Yeah.
We're going to win that game. All right. Now you've got an Eagles. Then we'd have to go probably and play the Eagles. Okay.
It'd either be the Eagles or the Niners.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, have you guys been to Philadelphia? Len, you been to a Philly game?
Yeah. They're nasty.
You know what their fans are like. Everybody. That's right. If Dallas goes to Philadelphia, you know what it's going to be. It's going to be insane. But if it starts going bad for the Eagles,
yeah, they
against
boo.
Dallas,
They boo.
It's
over as soon as it goes
It's
bad.
over. Yeah. Yes. And so I kind of like that.
You know why that is? You know why that is? Because their fans suck.
Oh boy,
They're the worst.
They're the worst.
Now they got the Phillies winning and everything. I'm like, oh my god, it's been a nightmare.
So there's only a couple other teams. I mean, I think rightfully so. We are in the top 5, which means I think they're only counting 1 or 2 other teams better than us in the NFC. The Eagles and maybe the Niners. Right. So if we can, we're gonna win our first round playoff game. If things don't change and injuries don't happen, we're getting to the playoffs. We're gonna win the first one. So then all we have to really worry about, probably worst case scenario, is the Eagles. Can we beat the Eagles? Hell yes.
Well, I think we showed that the first time we played them.
Yeah.
Well, we got to play them again, and that'll be more of the deciding factor in the situation when we play them.
Well, okay, but we can take it half full, half empty, right? Let's just say, no, I'm not saying this one, but let's just say we play the Eagles in Dallas, and we win that game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, who the heck knows what's going on, in terms of where we're seated and everything? But now the Eagle fans are like, "Oh my God, we got all of these weapons." I just know Philadelphia is, all right, and we couldn't beat these guys. Like we're gonna be the heavy underdog. I like that situation for Dallas, by the way. We're not gonna be the glamour team. We're the underdogs all the time, and so I kind of like that position. But I just feel like Philadelphia could be a little bit more fragile. Do you get the idea that Jalen Hurts really likes being in Philadelphia?
No, who would? I mean, really, who would?
He plays great. He plays great for them, but he's just kind of like, I don't give a crap about you people. People turned on me. The whole organization wanted to bury me. Everybody, you remember that?
Yep.
They couldn't get rid of that guy fast enough in Philadelphia.
Yeah. All right.
You think that guy's forgotten that?
Listen, guys, we are running out of time here. You guys stick around here after the show, and we'll hook back up for a few minutes. So anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. Thanks for everybody for listening in, and we will see you next week with the Dallas Cowboys game day. See you then, boy.
Later.
That's all, folks.